Alright guys, Cedric here again today, and this is the new recording schedule. I'm recording this at about 7 in the morning, I'll edit it, and then I'll go to work, and then when I come back, I'll render it, upload it, and hopefully it should be good in time for you guys tonight. So hopefully this will work quite nicely, and we'll just have to see how it goes. So anyway, today I want to talk about Heretics a bit more, because there's some news that potentially they might be on the verge of getting a franchise spot, and also just a load of other things that went on the last few days, especially more amateur scene related, to do with the teams that qualified through the national qualifiers for the CWL Miami event. And in the next few days I'll probably go over a video of which amateur teams are most likely to qualify for the World Championship when it goes into CWL Miami, because the top 16 teams of the event automatically qualify for the World Championships. If you're out of the top 16, then you are out of luck. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you do, subscribe if you are new. As always, I would greatly appreciate it. Let's hop right into it here. So we have this briefly from CWL Intel yesterday, or just a couple of hours ago really, saying that OpTic Gaming will be bootcamping pre-Miami with United, FaZe Clan and Gen.G at their Hex quarters. Very, very nice, of course. I think they did this pre-Fort Worth with Heretics, 100 Thieves, and forget the other team, it may have been United as well. And interesting turn of events. But it does seem, there's a clip here, which I'll put on screen I guess in a second, and apparently they're talking about new roles. And yes, supposedly, potentially TJ on the grapple, Scump on the war machine, and Karma maybe as a main AR, which is just, strange. We talked yesterday about OpTic Gaming, whether they can bounce back. I kind of implied that maybe you just stick to the roles that have worked in the past. Maybe it's not really worth switching it up anymore. But, well, maybe they think differently.
Wait, did he actually go to another call to tell? What a weirdo.
It's a secret, bro. It's a secret, just don't fucking talk about it.
What are they talking about?
Their new roles.
I think roles on their team.
We played them today.
It's a fucking secret, bro. They're literally 5 dogs.
They had Seth on war, Siege on grapple.
Oh my god, Cat!
TJ Epps, thank you for the 4. MK, thank you once again, bro.
I just switched on the vibe completely.
Yo,
Appreciate
hanging out with.
So moving on from that, a little bit of drama on the timeline I thought I'd bring up here. John says, Envy's 20-minute late for scrims, pathetic. And Silly says, just me and Adam were here. And yeah, I felt like pulling a scraps. I feel like a loser now. I guess what he means by pulling a scraps is like calling people out on Twitter about being late for scrims. And he says, well, you're literally late every scrim, so I thought I'd start tweeting about it, and you'd actually realise how blessed and easy your job is. Thumbs up. Which is kind of funny, so I thought I'd bring it up for your guys' attention. And yeah, moving onwards, we have this. Do you eat, sleep, and breathe #esports? Want to win $100,000 at a trip around the world? Want to be featured in a TV show? Peach Maria Productions will be shooting an esports reality TV show in Atlanta this summer and are looking for talent to cast. So I thought I'd link this down below. If you guys want to be involved in, selected amateur gamers from across the states will compete for a chance to fulfill their wildest video gaming dreams and compete to win software, hardware, and the glory of being crowned champion and more, including a $100,000 grand prize. It seems kind of fun. I'll link this down below, and Croned Intel added Adam Killer Sloss if he wanted to cast the event, which would be unbelievable. But yeah, if you guys want to win $100,000, then wouldn't be so bad. I'll leave this link down below. I don't really know much more about it than this. I just saw it briefly on my timeline, so I thought it was kind of funny, so I thought I'd mention it, because there's not really too much else to talk about today. Moving onwards, we have the following. So, just to make things clear, this is from a Deserto article a few months ago. It says that there's 5, at the time there were 5 franchise teams that had been confirmed. In Atlanta, Dallas, which is the Envy spot, New York, Paris, and Toronto, which is the Splice spot. So, those were the 5 at the time. More recently, we've known that they've added Minnesota, which is owned by Wise Ventures, this Gary V character, and also the LA spot, of course, owned by OpTic Gaming, or OpTic Gaming, owned by Immortals. So, that's the current situation with the 7 teams. Now, whether there will be another team come into play in Europe is an exciting prospect, because of course we've been thinking there'd be a team in London. I was also kind of hoping that there would be a team somewhere in Spain, in Barcelona for example, and this is what Heretics say. So firstly, just to mention this, they have a CoD Champs edition like hoodie, or not necessarily, maybe it's just a jersey. Yeah, I think it's just a jersey. But they got sponsored by Adidas a couple of weeks ago, which is just like a huge deal. Now, it's not like necessarily investment and funding, but being sponsored by Adidas, and they have some crazy good sponsorships to Heretics, like, you know, KFC and like Vodafone has the Giants, but they are, I know, like, Heretics are balling, and this is what I think this is their, like, I don't know, he doesn't say anything about exactly what role he plays, this George guy, so I'm not 100% sure, but he did some tweet saying 60 to 40% if you understand it, we will continue informing. A lot of people took this to mean, and I think he said somewhere else as well, that this was referring to the chance of getting a franchise spot in the league next season. And then yesterday, he makes this tweet, so 70 to 30, implying it's more and more likely that they will get a franchise spot all the time, if it's talking about the same thing, which is an exciting prospect, because it'd be very cool to have Heretics have a franchise spot in the league, in my opinion. And yeah, hopefully they can, because I'd like a little bit of, a little bit of global variety. Now, of course, just because it's the Barcelona spot or whatever they would happen to get doesn't necessarily mean they have to have Spanish players, but it would be ideal, and obviously the Heretics guys are good enough to be in the league, so hopefully they will be, but we'll just have to see, because there's a lot of big name teams that aren't going to get a franchise spot this season for sure, because, well, as far as I understand it, there's only going to be like 12 spots, or at least that was the rumour. Maybe they will sell more, but the fact that there's only been 7 announced so far, we don't have that many months to go really until the onset of the new game and the franchise season will begin. So yeah, okay, maybe there could still be 16 spots, but, you know, the initial rumour was there was only going to be 12, so if 7 have been confirmed so far, only one of them in Paris is in the European region, it would make a lot of sense to have at least one in the UK in London, and at least one somewhere else in Europe, in Barcelona, for example. And then at least that would be a decent starting point to go forwards. But there's so many organisations that will not be getting a franchise spot, which is, like FaZe Clan. Are they going to get one? It's, I think their chances are not greater than this. Let's put it that way. If he's correct with 70 to 30, I don't think FaZe Clan have got better numbers than this, in my opinion. Like, I heard maybe 60-40 or something like that. But, you know, we'll have to see with them. And also 100 Thieves, whether Nature decides that that's a worthy investment. Nature and the rest of his team, of course. He's got a lot of good team of great investors. He could probably drum up the money to invest, but whether he thinks it's even worth it, of course, Call of Duty is like born and bred, you know, that is his number one in a way, but is it worth it? Is the 25, 30, 40, whatever million going to be worth it? It's honestly tough to say. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on this down in the comment section below. Which other teams do you hope get a franchise spot, and which may not? And yeah, well, some interesting questions to be answered over the next few days. So let's go on to the national qualifiers here. So effectively how this works is a lot of countries have their own national qualifiers. If you compete in the national qualifier and you reign victorious, you win, then you get free travel and accommodation paid by MLG to go to the CWL Amateur Finals, which is at CWL Miami. It will be taking place on the same weekend as the playoffs, and you know, the winners get a hell of a lot of money, but if you come top 16 at that event, then you qualify for the World Championships, which is what everyone's talking about. And especially for a lot of these European teams, winning the national qualifier is a pretty damn big deal, because it's a lot of money to get over to the States for these events. Like, the flights are going to be at least $1,000 both ways for obviously every individual player, and then you've got, in addition to that, you know, the hoteling cost and all the other things. It's a lot of money that you can save by winning these amateur online tournaments. So this is the French spot. Kreza, Natche, Risk, Yako, and Zeke win it. Interesting, of course, because Natche, Risk, and Zeke are players that are on that old... it was Denial, and then it was like Overtime before that or whatever. So they were on that team. And then Kreza from the UK, and then Yako, the Spanish guy. So you don't have to have a full French team, which is why a lot of people use these to get these kind of free trips. Because Kreza now, I'm pretty sure he can go and join a different team if he wants. But it's possible that he could still have that, like, the free funding, or maybe he has to keep 3 out of 5 of the team or something like that. It's not 100% sure, but like that you're like a funded player once you've won one of these tournaments. I don't fully understand it, but Keep that in the back of your head. This is the American one. Fastballer, Robbie B, Turn Up Too Easy, Tish and Super. Is this the same team once again that Aspire have had for a long time? Definitely these four are. Maybe the 5 as well, because they've had this team all the way since London, I think, which is pretty impressive. So yeah, then Sage come in second place. Doesn't matter too much when you're in the States. This is the Canadian one, won by Diamond Con and Machilla, baby, Remy Lured and Stevie. And then we have this is the Spanish one, of course. Movistar Riders take the victory over Giants. So Giants have enough money to send them out there anyway. So do Movistar Riders, really. But it's always nice getting it for free, isn't it? So then this is the let's guess this one. It's got to be the Italian one. Predax, Colga Blade, Lumbast, and Bizo. If you guys know any of those players. This is the German one. Cookie, Phantom, Piero, Sharko, and T Pazzy. Some of those names might ring a bell. This is the Australian one, of course. Mindfreak took it home over Vertex Gaming in the end. So a lot of well-known players here, but of course Mindfreak are going to win. They're probably the best team the open bracket has to offer. Won the last 2 times, were runner-up the time before that, so whether they can take it is yet to be seen. And this is the UK one. Defrag, Dave, Josh, PT, and Vortex won against Bance, Chain, Nasty, Quicker, and Shawnee. Now, both of these are exciting teams. It went all the way to a Game 5 in the second series, because Bance's team had won the first series because they came from the losers bracket. Then they went up 2-0, I think, and then got reverse swept maybe by Team B Sport to lose. So it's a pretty exciting turn of events. How good these teams will do when it goes into CWL Miami is yet to be seen, but a lot of good teams here, honestly, from the UK, because we've got the likes of Madcap playing with BB Connor, Chaxter, Hawkey, and Payne, and Singularity are back with some names you may be aware of. The Insight God, Keza, Bids9, these guys, Detain, etc., etc. So, and yeah, Maple, who was playing with Chain, Denzer, and Tommy last year on that Vitality team that came top 12 at Champs. So, definitely some names to keep your eyes on here, and be very interesting to see, because Miami is a real big deal, and top 16 isn't out of the question for a lot of these teams. So and once you make that, you make it to Champs, so that's pretty damn exciting. So a couple of announcements here before we end the video. CWL Miami roster, just announced on Athime, and yeah, so Shawnee, this isn't Shawnee CoD, this is Shawnee CoD, but this isn't like Shawnee the Reciprocity player, or the former Reciprocity player, because they've now brought Alex into the team. But yeah, Iviano and these guys you may be aware of, and another team that was announced, Hyperboom, GG, Andrew, Onyx, going to be playing with Traudy, in fact, and Spart, which is a name that has come up kind of lately as well. So, interesting couple of teams. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new as always. Leave your thoughts down on this in the description, in the comment section below. Let's not get that wrong again. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you next time.